What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Adventures in Rojo Grande. Thanks for visiting the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Have you ever had this problem that we have? We recently went out to a lake and everything in the bed of the truck is just completely dusty from dirt roads. And I noticed that there's a lot of gaps in the tailgate, drainage holes. So today we're going to do a little hack and see if it can help keep that dust down in the bed of the truck, because we're tired of having to clean everything when we get back. So stay tuned and we're going to show you what we're going to do to try to seal up some of these holes.
As you can see, it's not just the cooler. Everything in here is dusty. So we're going to go ahead and get this all cleaned out real quick, and then we'll show you the project.
Okay, so behind me I have everything that we're going to need for this particular install. Let's get to it. Okay, so first off, we have this total bed seal kit. It's to seal the tailgate and other parts of the bed from AgriCover Incorporated. I'll leave a link to this down in the description. This one is for Rojo Grande, our Silverado. It's got these foam blocks that are going to fit up into the bed of the truck. Also has a really nice looking gasket to go into the tailgate of the truck, which everybody knows who has a truck, tons of dust comes in there. Next, we found these on Instagram. These are little retractable, like cargo hooks that will go into the oval slots on the bed of the truck. These oval slots, if you're lucky enough to still have some of these, you know, we've lost most of ours, so we're going to replace these. We're going to caulk them in. Speaking of caulk, we got this supreme silicone, waterproof, sunproof, window and door caulking. So we're going to be using this to plug up the drain holes and then also to caulk in some of these parts to keep the bed as dust free as possible. Obviously you need a caulk gun as well, drill for mounting the tow hardware, or the tow hook hardware, and then just a flathead screwdriver to pop out any of those panels that you may still have. If you have a panel popper, whatever is going to work for that. So, and then also get yourself, think ahead, get yourself a roll of towels, because I'm sure we're going to have excess that we need to get off. So let's go ahead and get to the install. Stop it.
All right, guys, next we're going to insert your cargo hook. Okay, if it looks like this, make sure it's up. I had it down previously. And you're gonna push it all the way up. Then you're gonna push this forward. This part you're gonna go ahead and insert first. You might struggle to do this, but this one was pretty easy. Once you're almost at the end, you're gonna take this gasket part of it. You're gonna kind of try to insert it from the bottom to the top first, to where it's fully in. Once it's fully in, you're gonna press up against the tailgate. You're gonna make sure this is all the way out. You can use a two-person. It kind of helped us to get these things moving. But you're gonna take your screw, kind of just screw it until you can hold it in place. Okay, once it's in, you take your
Screwdriver.
Okay, make sure
make sure your clutch is set pretty low on this, y'all, because I had it up higher earlier and I blew one of these screws through the plastic piece. These plastic pieces aren't the strongest in the world, but yeah, at this point you need to retain tension pulling out on this to keep that back piece forward so you can screw it in. And then go ahead and start screwing.
make sure you push all the way in.
Yep. There you go. And now these are in. They're kind of cool. They're little retractable ones. This will be good for when we're off-roading, just to help tie more stuff down in the bed. I definitely like to hit unforeseen bumps a lot and send everything flying. But all right, so next we're going to use our silicone and just put a bead of silicone around these to make sure that they're extra dust tight. Most of y'all, I'm sure, have used silicone in the past. So we're gonna get, this may not look the best, but we're gonna put a nice bead in here around it. Just to make sure that we fully seal this. Go around here where I missed a little bit. All right, so that looks pretty good. Let me use my towel. We're gonna do this on every one. I'm sure some of y'all are gonna hate on me and talk about, oh, that looks so bad, but it's like, I care about dust sealing it. I'm not building a mansion right now. So we're gonna do that for all these, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so the next part, these are the drain holes. So these are up towards the cab of the bed. If you don't run a tonneau cover, or you don't run a canopy, and you have rain falling in all the time, this may not be the mod for you, because it's going to be harder for water to drain out of your bed. But we're going to seal these up. I'll probably come through here and clean this little bit of dirt. We're going to seal this up, and then also we're going to seal this seam here where the bed liner was made. So let's go ahead and start siliconing in these holes. Okay, so now that we got all the caulking done and we got the cargo points installed, we're going to install the rest of the kit. There's these foam blocks, and they're going to go up under here. As you can see, there's these I don't know, there's stanchions, or they're meant for like posts to come up, but these holes that are up here go all the way down to the ground. And if you can see, you might be able to see that. I'm not sure if you can see the hole or not, but
now, we ended up having to buy a cap to fill this hole in because nothing came with it, and our tonneau cover doesn't cover it up at all. I'll leave a link in the description for that piece.
that goes all the way to the ground. Lots of dust can get up in here. So these little foam blocks that we have here are supposed to go up underneath here and block those off completely. So we're going to install those now. Okay, so for this next part, we're gonna be installing these wedges. I accidentally pushed one all the way into that hole and lost it, and luckily Zoo was able to grab it. So this part, we're gonna go and use the soapy water and spray it up on there. So go ahead and spray, my love. And that's supposed to just lubricate it so we can get these in.
You're gonna place it this way. Okay, and then you're gonna just start squeezing in there. Go.
And that looks fantastic.
Should be good. Should be good right there.
So that'll seal up, and if you see here, I'm going to move it to this. If you see here, this is this big hole that we're plugging up with these. Lots of dust coming in through there, as you could tell earlier. So we're going to keep working on this, and then we'll show you the next stage of it. Okay, so we've got all the other wedge kits done. Now there's this big one that's supposed to go in like this, so it wants the fat side to the back. It's going to go up into here. You have to actually shove really hard because it's going to go all the way into here. I have these mounts for my tonneau cover. There's another little hole up under here that I can barely fit my pinky into. This can sometimes get stuck into that and it'll tear, but what we're going to do, the instructions said to apply, this is just soap water, some Dawn soap water, to apply to the areas that it could be coming in contact with. We're going to do that, but I found also that if you saturate the brick, especially the leading end of the brick, it goes in there pretty good. So what we're going to do is get this in here, and there is a big, large cavity under here that has a lot of, it leads down to the bottom of the truck. I think we showed you the top view of this earlier, but what we're going to do, set this up here, almost compress this, and just start shoving it into this hole. And this is kind of dry here too, so I'm gonna wet this down a little bit more so it's a little more pliable, a little slicker. Just start shoving this up into this hole. And we're gonna shove it as far in there as we can. If you hear it tearing, you just want to check and make sure that it's not getting caught up in this hole here. So we're gonna keep shoving this piece in here until it's almost out of your reach, right? I feel it now where it's starting to get a little loosey-goosey. It's getting away from me. So what you do now is you slowly pull back on it, okay? And when you slowly pull back, that's making sure that the foam is expanding. And trapping everything in there, trapping on the, you can see we didn't wait for this to finish, so I got a little bit of goop on my hands, but that's all right. So it's, as you pull back, it's expanding inside this large chamber. So I'm going to reach my finger up here. This is completely sealed. It's still not sealed right here, so I'm going to mess around with it a little bit more. Maybe pull this back a bit, see if I can feel it here. Now I feel it in this little hole right here, so that is completely plugged up. I'm gonna push this up a little bit too, and then pull this back. Come on, you guy, you. I'm gonna cuss at you so bad, but we can't for YouTube. All right, so now I'm gonna take this from you. If you see the foam here, it's completely pushed up against all of this. Sorry, I'm gonna try to, but it's completely pushed up against this hole. There's a cavity back here, so this is gonna block all the dust coming through this cavity and into the bed of the truck. Okay. I think I see the mark now. Okay. So what I'm doing here, y'all, is instead of peeling this all the way off and just having a bunch of stuff that this can get stuck to, I'm just peeling it off as I go. This will make it easier. But so this kit, it says to follow this lip. So we want to press this upper lip here. We want to press all of the tape to this lip. So I'm just going a little bit at a time. Take your time. Better tedious than messing up your kit and having to go buy another one, right? Okay, so we're done putting that in. As you can see, I tried to follow the curvature of the bed as best as possible. I didn't do a great job right there.
We do not sponsor Milwaukee, by the way.
Yeah, I just own that. They don't give us any money. I'll steal one from Gavin Hardcastle. But Milwaukee, if you're watching, get in touch. So now we're going to move to the next part. There's sealing for this to seal this off. The kit also said that I don't know if you can see it right here, but this little hole right there, they said sometimes caulking doesn't do it. We'll try to put some caulk down into that just to seal this up too, because that'll be another problem area for dust getting up into the truck. So are you ready?
Yes.
All right, sweet. Oh, it's really bright. Okay, so next we're going to install the tailgate gasket. It says for you to measure 1 inch back, which is approximately where this piece of metal meets up here. And then you're going to come down. We were a little confused. We thought it was going to get into this. We thought it was going to get in this way, but it's going to come down. You're actually going to turn it so the adhesive will be on this side, and you're going to turn it. I'll kind of show you instead of just explaining it to you. It's going to start like this, and then it's going to turn onto that, and then we're going to follow.
Now, I actually messed up on the initial install on this. You want to make sure that the rubber gasket is not sucked into the channel. You want it closer to this part here. You want to follow this line down. Otherwise, you'll have a gap in the tailgate like we did. We ended up having to try to peel this off without tearing it and then reaffixing it.
We're going to follow this all the way down and then made it up down here. So this next piece, this little L piece, we noticed there was a big gap. When we test shut it just now, there was a big gap in here. So this piece is going to go fit into here. And it's, this will keep dust from getting into this side, and it should mate up with this piece back here pretty good. So let's get to it. Make sure you're wiping this all down with alcohol wipes so the metal is going to stick. Yeah, so sorry, the sun's behind me. You probably can't see my face. We've got the seal kit on. I'm going to shut this up, and Zoo is going to go around, and you actually can't see any light coming through here anymore. It's definitely, when you're shutting it, I wouldn't slam it, like ease it shut, because it's tight now. It's really tight in here. So now that's shut. You can see the gasket sticking up here. I'll trim that down, but it looks pretty darn good. Sorry for the mess, but yeah, no light coming through anymore. We did have to, once Zoo pops out of here, we'll show you. We did have to adjust some of the seals because the way they tell you to put them on is a little misleading. You can see at the top here, when she gets to the top, I already did a really poor job of trimming that one, but yeah, come on down and we'll show them what we did. Okay.
Oh,
Inappropriate jokes at inappropriate times. Anyway, so here we still started at 1 inch back, but when we had originally done it, we kind of followed this this point, and you really need to make sure it's over and almost overlapping this part of the truck, because there was a huge gap right here. So we had, luckily it hadn't set, the double-sided tape hadn't set yet, so we were able to move it over more. You want to make sure that this is, when you shut your tailgate, that this is kind of popping out into the bed of the truck. So other than that, it looks really good so far. Last thing we have to do is seal this up, because that is connected to this, and that goes straight to the ground, and it's behind the rear tire. So that's it, and then we're gonna be all done with this. So this is what the kit comes with. They're these little clear stickers. There are these little clear stickers that go over this. So we're just gonna pop this over. I don't really trust this to stay on. It's already wanting to come off. So I'm gonna use this as a base, and then I'm just gonna put caulk all over the top of this. And then we'll do that on both sides. Just to see, this kit is made for a truck that doesn't have a bed lining on it, so a lot of this stuff was having issues sticking to non-bare metal. So it came with a kit for the front to put a gasket on the front, but we caulked that in because it's just not gonna stay stuck up there. So caulking there. I'm gonna put this, like I said, just as base, and then we'll caulk over the top of this, and we'll be all done with the project today.
This upgrade did a fantastic job of keeping dust out of the bed of the truck on our recent week-long trip to Oregon. If you haven't checked those videos out, definitely go check them out. We had a great time. As a matter of fact, the only dirt that got into the bed of the truck was just what was brought in from the cooler and the tote sitting on the ground at our campsites. We're really, really happy with the mod. If you're looking to keep the bed of your truck clean, this is definitely something that you should consider. Thank you so much again for stopping by and watching our channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. We're trying to grow it. And we will see you out on the next adventure.